Hey guys, welcome to another MapleStory video, and today is going to be my Dual Blades updated equipment video for September 2019, and probably will be the last equipment video that'll be coming out for either this year or it'll be the second to last, because when I go to Cube World, I'll be cutting down on almost all upgrades that I'm going to be doing on my MapleStory characters, which means I will not make any upgrades on Jinli, and therefore there will be no equipment video. However, I will come back during the Glory update. Not come back, I'm not quitting Maple, I'm just going to be switching gears and going over to Cube World for a time being. And yeah, I'll be attending the Glory event, and then maybe during December when it's like Christmas time, I'll come back to Maple because Christmas time is awesome for MapleStory. So that's the plan we have right here. Also, I am in Eladin for Step Spring. This is like my new favorite map to AFK, and it's such a beautiful place. And we'll get right into the equipment video. So, let's talk. Because this is for my records and because it's a big milestone of mine, I'm going to be making the equipment video a little longer than I normally would do. Before, I did a no commentary video. I just like browsed over all of my pieces of equipment and then I showed you guys my damage after. But I think this time I want to actually talk about what I'm going to be doing or how I feel about my equipment and stuff like that. So just sit back, enjoy the video, and let's get into it. Barefoot Totem, which will be replaced with Dark Helia Totems when Dark Lords of Darkness comes out. They had an event this March. Or last March rather. But I think that's to compensate for the fact that they didn't have one the year before, which means we may get a Dark Lords of Darkness event happening on October as usual. In October rather. Hunter Totem, I think this is the best in slot, so we'll keep that. Frenzy Totem, this is not mine. Some people have been wondering if this is my totem. No, I actually do not own this totem. I'm borrowing it for a little bit, and I'm going to be giving it back within about a couple weeks time, roughly about the time Cube World is released. If it is scheduled to release during the end of September and not early October. I just been using this for training, but I decided because Cube World is coming out, it's basically threw all my plans out the window, and I'm going to be switching back to Dual Blade just because I am tired of playing Night Lord. Night Lord's a terrible class to play, in my humble opinion. Okay, my steering, it is 27% luck with a great bonus potential of 14% luck and 12 attack. My Reinforced Skullic String, or JD's Reinforced Skullic String. Am I allowed to take off the name tag on this yet, JD, or do you still want it on? 27% luck, 5% all, 12 attack, luck plus 1 per 10. This solid Gallic String is still probably one of the most beautiful items I've ever seen in terms of potential. And B-Pot, it is a 5 prime line item. Yeah, so it is 33% main pot with a triple prime and bonus potential of luck plus 7% and luck plus 3 per 10. Superior Gallic String is sitting at 30% luck and 11% B-Pot. Pink Holy Cup, which I might have to switch out for a cursed spellbook sometime in the future if I can even get one from Will. It's like a -0 drop rate. 60 luck, 5% all stat. That's as good as you can pretty much get for most Pink Bean Holy Cups. Everyone uses the Leaf Ray Codex. Actually, I wonder why Nexon has never updated this, because I feel like with all the new areas such as Vanishing Journey, Choo Choo Island, they could add a couple more places here for us to use. Because as of right now, Leaf Ray is the only set that is viable by leaps and bounds. Some people might say the Hennessy's Ruins for 3% attack, but it's just 30% ignore defense is OP. There's no other reason to pick anything else. What the hell? 1,111,378,532% of what? It's so weird. Okay. Superior Engraved Gallic Spell, I got a new flame on it. It is 48 luck with a 30% main pot double prime and a luck plus 2 per 10 and 4% all. My dagger, my lovely dagger. So let's see here, we got a tier 6, tier 4, tier 6 flame for boss or for attack, boss, and damage. Then we have 23% attack, 30% boss main pot, double prime, 26% attack B pot, 4% armor pen, 3% mag vel soul, which I might switch out because I want a cooler soul than just vellum. First pendant is 27%. And it is a luck plus 34 and a luck 5%, which actually I might want to recube that, because I think that's no better than like 10% luck, and I can probably get something better if I go like luck plus 2. However, the flame is 5% all. That is equivalent to about 40 to 42 luck, I think, depending on where you are. 27% luck pendant again. This is a 32 luck and 3% all flame. Brilliant. And then B-Pot is 10% luck with 14 attack. I'm really disappointed. Well, not disappointed, I kind of signed up for it. When I was first refunding my Dual Blade again, I focused more on getting the Gallic accessories as quick as I could, and I settled on getting 27% for a lot of the rings, which I'm not happy about. Or not just the rings, but the pendants. I may have to actually sell and rebuy better pendants just because 27% not really good material to have for endgame. It's still good, I mean, just not the standards that most people have up there. My hat, which I completely redid, it is now spell traced. It used to be plus 20 attack, but that's not really that valuable, so I switched out and I got the spell trace for luck, and I also flamed it to get 48 luck, 6 attack, and 5% all. It is also 27% luck main pot, with no prime line unfortunately, and a B pot of luck plus 2 and 5%. The violet cubes I spent on this hat was just so awful. I just spent 55 violet cubes just to get one 3-line luck, and it wasn't even a prime line one, which is kind of upsetting, but it's still 27%. I suppose you can't complain with that. A Sumata tattoo, 33%, luck plus 2 per 10, luck 6%, so I changed the B pot and the flame is still the same. Monocle, I also changed the B pot. It used to be 8% all stat, now it is 13% luck. My top, it's a brand new top. I got a prime scrolled CRA top with a 72 luck, 3% all flame. That's basically as good as you can get for most tops. It is still only 27%. Getting 30% on CRA is kind of difficult just because armor pieces have a lot more useless garbage lines as opposed to accessories, but this is passable for now. My pants, 56 luck, 5% all, and is 27% again, with the same bonus potential as I believe my other... Actually, all of my CRA have the same B-pod basically. My shoes, my lovely boots, they're 96 and 6% all, with a 36% luck main pot and a luck plus 3 per 10 and 6% luck B-pod. It is 21 star. Before you guys tell me to go 22, it is not worth it right now. Droplet prices are skyrocketing beyond belief, and while I could easily get 22 stars just by passing another one and getting lucky, I could also get extremely unlucky and cost myself hundreds and hundreds of dollars, so it's just not a good payoff. My gloves, however, are 22 star, 96 luck, 5% all flame, with double crit damage and then a B pot of luck plus 10, or luck plus 2 per 10 character levels, 6% luck and 17 luck. This is 22 star, which I was happy about. Scarlet shoulder, which will be replaced with an arcane shoulder if I ever do feel like I need to. It is 51 luck, 5% all. That's about like an A+ tier flame you can get on a Scarlet Shoulder. You can get a little higher. You can go for S tier, which is about, I think, 70 luck and 6% all. But that's way too difficult to get. It is 30% main pot double prime with a B pot of 7% and luck plus 10. Not luck plus 10, luck plus 1 per 10. There you go. My Golex earrings, or not my Golex earrings, they're Sean's earrings. Hi Sean, are you still... Do you mind if I can rename this? Because I don't know if you still play. Do you still watch my videos? If you do, leave a comment, because I miss you, buddy. 44 luck flame with a 30% main pot, which is a double prime except all stat, and 11% B pot. My emblem, my lovely emblem, it is 18% 30 ignore defense with 21% B pot. Main pot I got with violet cubes, which means there's no prime line, but I guess maybe I can get something else in the future, I don't know. My badge I did actually redo. Before it was 15 attack, 13 attack, 13 attack, which a lot of people were like, oh my goodness, that's awesome. But the more I thought about it, attack is not really something you want to go for or prioritize unless it's the very last line. I like to look at it as the french fries to a hamburger. Unless we're talking McDonald's french fries, you really generally do not want to just get fries, right? You want to get either chicken tenders, you want to get I don't know, hot dog, or you want to get a hamburger with it, right? So I decided it's just not that great, so I recubed it and I got 11% luck instead. Black Swords and Metal, still my favorite metal. Just because of the design, I like it a lot. And Sumata Katara, which is 22 star, 53% attack and 13% crit. I do still regret not P-socking this before transposing. And I also regret not prime scrolling it because of the fact that you cannot actually arc innocence scroll and re-scroll it, or just regular innocence, due to the fact that it'll just go back to 7 slots with a max of 9, and you lose the transposition bonuses, which means you can't really get anything else out of it. Although it's not something I lose sleep over, but I am down like I think 14 attack. My cape, 19 stars. I tried to get it to 22 or 21, but it boomed. And it was kind of annoying to get it back because droplet prices are about like 700 mil each now. But the flame is 84 luck, 5% all, 30% main pot, which for a level 150 item is equivalent to a 27%. But since it's a 160 plus item, it just goes to 30%. And the B pot, this is a type of B pot where it's certainly good, but for most people this is considered a 2-line B pot or maybe a 2.5 line B pot just because attack is not really that valuable. Early on, attack potentials are fantastic, but as you get higher and higher up into the late game, you want percent stat, because percent stat you get more out of due to the fact that you just have more percent stat as opposed to percent attack, which means I might actually need to recube this. I don't know when. I also do have the resources to continue going on my cape. I have about 180 bill remaining just from defunding my Demon Slayer, which I'll talk about some other time. I just don't think it's worth it because, like I said, I'll be transitioning to Cube World for a time, and if Cube World takes off, then it may just not be very efficient for me to put any more funding on my character because I'm not playing MapleStory that much after the fact. Superior Lithium Heart. Now, Outlaw Heart. I mentioned back in May or June that I was going to get an Outlaw Heart last, but now that I've gotten everything I needed except the Outlaw Heart, I don't want one because Outlaw Hearts are just ridiculously expensive. I know, on average they're about 400 to 450 for a perfect 17-star one, and I don't want to do that. So I guess I'll settle for this one. Arcane Force, I'm doing quite well. I'm at 1240, so I need about 800 left? 2, 3, 3. Yes, so that's 800 left. Or not 880 left, rather, Arcane Force. And then I'll be at the max. I have no pet equips because I'm using the Toasty, Icy, and Miasma Devil. They give 15 attack. For those of you who have been watching me for a long time, you'll know these 3 pets, they mean a lot to me. They were the first ever trio pet I've ever gotten, and they're still one of my favorites. Alright. Before we get into the range, I'm going to show you my Link skills. This is what I'm currently wearing for the sake of just having impressive stats, but when I switch to bosses or training, I obviously go for Spirit of Freedom. Against bosses, I think I also go Unfair Advantage, but then when I switch to training, I go Elven Blessing, then Combo Kill, Rune Persistence. For my V-Matrix, this is where I'm at right now. Level 25, or I think it's better if I do this instead. Maxed Phantom Blow, everything else is 55 or something like that. I can get more on them, just gotta work on them a tiny bit, but I mostly care about Phantom Blow. And some people were asking me why I have points on Blade Ascension. That's just because I train with Blade Ascension just as much as I train with Blade Fury, which is why I prioritize getting both of them to a high level, purely because of the fact that Blade Ascension I consider to be a more consistent mobbing skill. Because if you watched my Dual Blade Labyrinth of Suffering training video, you saw me swinging myself all the way across the map and spamming this skill. So I think it is important to max out as a Dual Blade. And Sudden Raid Boost, of course, for burst damage. Karma Fury or Blades of Destiny, level 30, Blade Tornado 24, Blade Tempest 30. Blade Clone is also not bad. It's not the best. You want to kind of, it gives you an extra 2 attacks every time you attack, I guess. Last Resort is 28. My Will skill is only level 14. It needs more work. Definitely needs more work. I could buy Will nodes in the auction house, but I just don't think it really matters too much. Hyper stats, I put 1 point into Bloody Storm Spread, Blade Fury Spread, and then 3 into Phantom Blow. Some dual blades, they like putting a point into Extra Strike so their Bloody Storm does more damage, but you really do not need more damage on Bloody Storm. It's just a mobbing skill, you just want to cover as many enemies as you can. Hyperstat orientation, I'm currently arranged to have 7 crit rate, 12 crit damage, 12 boss, and 10 of damage and ignore defense, and then a couple points into luck just to embellish the luck a bit more. Inner ability, we're at 20% boss, 20% buff duration. Last item will be either attack or crit rate or something like that. Whew, that's a lot of talking. Let's go ahead and buff up and show you where I'm at right now. And with just a regular buffed range, I consider Maple Warrior actually to be clean range just because of the fact that it's always on and it's 25 minutes long, and I have it as an auto pet buff. 70.5k luck. 2 months ago I thought 60k was as far as I could go, but I guess not. And yeah, that's my stats. 326% boss, 94 ignore defense, 100% crit rate, 89% crit damage. Of course that is inflated right now with the Bushmaster title, which I have right here. 30 all stat, 15 attack, 15 boss, 15 total damage, 15 ignore defense, 15 crit rate, and then with the current titles I have, granting me a stat total of 15 attack, 15 all stat, 15% boss, and 15% ignore defense. So I have 30% more boss and ignore defense than I normally would, and a little bit more damage and luck, but I would still be, I think, above 70k even if I took off everything. And now we'll get into the buffed range, which I guess let's get to the final cut. In the final cut, I'm at 90.8 versus 99. I'm going to go ahead and charge up my combat skills really quick. A little bit more. And one more stack of Solace. 2 more stacks of Solace. There we go. Max damage range. Now fully buffed. Let's go ahead and actually charge up my attack. Wait, hang on. We'll charge up Solace a bit more. Okay, good. Now let's stack up our things. The visual range will not change, but I will show you exactly how to calculate your buffed range, fully buffed. What you do is you unequip your weapon, and then take a good look at it. 272 million range. That is the highest I can go self-buffed, but if I put on everything else, I'm confident I can break about 300. And with that being said, I hate this game now, so I am done. I'm kidding. Okay, so just to iron out what I was going to be doing for the rest of 2019, because Cube World is being released and is throwing everything on its head, I will be taking a short leave of absence from Maple. I still have a couple more videos that I have to upload just because I have thumbnails for them and I don't want to waste them. But when Cube World comes out, I will be taking 90% of my eggs and putting it into that basket and going like really hard on Cube World, because I did tell you guys that Cube World is one of the few games that I've actually been looking forward to making videos on if it got an update, and it did get an update. And I'm gonna just grab it by the horns and I'm gonna just go super hard. This is like my big opportunity to finally step out to a bigger audience and grow my channel. I'm super excited. I'm also nervous, but don't feel like you can't talk to me about MapleStory stuff. My Discord channel still has MapleStory in it, and occasionally I'll be playing MapleStory here and there. I still do weekly bosses with my friends. When Glory Update comes out and we get all the extra cool fit shop skills, I'll talk more about that when it actually happens. But yeah, sorry for the long video, just a big milestone for me, and I wanted to talk about everything that I could. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all again soon in the next video. Take care.